Hi, I'm David Dodge. Welcome to Green Energy Futures. What grows on trees and plants is normally wasted and could form the cornerstone of a COVID-19 recovery effort that fights climate change and begins to build a new sustainable economy. We are talking about biomass.
So biomass is technically it's anything that was once alive and now could be utilized to form or create a biochemical or a biodiesel or a biofuel.
That's Jordan Solomon, president of Ecostrat, a Canadian company that sources and supplies biomass and helps markets understand biomass risks.
So when you take French fry oil, for example, to use a very small example, made from potatoes. Potatoes were alive. The oil is a biomass. That biomass can then be refined and made into any number of different kind of biofuels, which you can drive a truck with or a tractor, or you can refine it into sustainable aviation fuel and fly a jet.
When people hear the word biomass, they often think about trees. But we're not talking about the part of the tree that we use to produce 2x4s. Solomon explains.
They're often talking about wood fiber. So they're not talking about the tree itself, but they're talking about what's left in the forest when one harvests the tree, the branches, the bark, the tops. When they're talking about agriculture, they're not talking about corn. They're talking about the agricultural residues, like the corn stover. They're not talking about the wheat, but they're talking about the wheat straw, what's left in the fields and on the forest floor after it's harvested.
We're also talking about all sorts of other biomass.
The food waste, of which there are millions of tons that are going to landfills, the sawdust that are coming out of our sawmills, the green wastes that are coming from line clearing in cities around the country, the manures that are coming off of our farms that can be used to make renewable natural gas that can drive school buses, etc., etc.
Solomon's company, Ecostrat, supplies about 500,000 tons of biomass each year to companies that turn this waste into products. In Canada, the potential market for biomass is huge.
120 million is your figure in Canada for a combination of woody biomass, agricultural residues, and other post-industrial types of biomass like food waste, etc.
Ecostrat estimates this 120 million tons of biomass could be turned into 132,000 jobs and $31 billion in economic activity. And this is why Solomon and Ecostrat are calling for the creation of bioeconomy development zones to highlight and develop this potential.
And basically it's in response to the devastation brought upon the world economy by the coronavirus pandemic.
Solomon likens the devastating economic impacts of COVID-19 to fighting a war.
And we need to use, just like in any war, all the assets at our disposal to win it. And what we argue is that Canada has 120 million tons of biomass, and those biomass are assets in this economic war, and we must use them.
Canada's biomass resource is vast and largely underappreciated. Next week, we talk to Jordan Solomon about how creating bioeconomy development zones and standards could help unleash this sustainable industry. Learn more at greenenergyfutures.ca. For Green Energy Futures, I'm David Dodge.